What was most memorable about the play Mr. Burns for me was really the layout and the structure of the play was different than any that I had ever seen or read before. Um, Without really giving any sort of clear explanation as to what happened, it creates a sense of civilization has ended and they're in a desperate situation. And then it also creates a tone later in Act Two when they transition to having after having met and remembering the Simpsons episode to putting on full stage productions. You know, how people can and will regain a sense of normalcy after something bad happens. And then finally, with the third play being, or third act of the play being a play within a play, and a musical number, it was interesting to see the whole progression. Bringing me to question two, I think that Act Three, the musical play within a play, is very important, not just because it shows how entertainment and culture will always evolve no matter what has happened. Not to mention the fact that it shows that pop culture can and will endure because of the emotional connection it has with people. A lot of people watch The Simpsons. A lot of people grew up watching The Simpsons, and I think that that helps, you know, create, a longevity. People want to continue to watch it and help it evolve because people are going to still watch it in the future, even though culture's changed. It also, with Bart fighting Mr. Burns and singing about how he won't give up and he'll fight on, it's very reminiscent of human nature. It's what we have always done. When things get hard, people have always seemed to find a way to make it work and to survive. What I thought that this play was about, in my opinion, was just how people will bond, over seemingly inconsequential things, like a random episode of The Simpsons. They're sitting around a fire and civilization's ended, but still they band together and they come together and remember something that they've all seen separately, and it creates this sort of brotherhood because they all have similar experiences, at least with some parts of culture, pop culture, and humor. And who doesn't love The Simpsons? Um, what I think people should take away is that it's not necessarily going to be the highest form or the most intellectual form of art that survives. I think it's going to be things that have a message and a sense of humor that a lot of people can bond with and relate to. Um, I'm an avid Simpsons fan. I've seen the Cape Fear episode many times. And having seen the episode, it kind of did mess with my opinion of the the play because I thought that it would maybe have more of the slapstick humor of The Simpsons without really truly understanding what it was going to be before I really kind of got into it. Um, I don't think you need to have watched the episode or have ever seen The Simpsons in order to get the play. I think what's important to get out of it is just more that people bond over whatever it is they remember, and it's really just that some things are going to endure, and people, if they relate to them, they're just going to continue to watch it, and they're going to evolve, or the art's going to evolve with the culture. As for some pop culture stories today that'll live on through the apocalypse, I think most of our music will. The Beatles and Led Zeppelin, I think, will continue on into the future, especially since it'll be easier to get some sort of vinyl record player working than an iPod once everything breaks. I also can imagine some of the stories regarding our sports, and our political activists that while not maybe in office have stood up for change. I think will live on to the apocalypse as well.